All right. Well, we're live, and it is February 1st. And it's been quite a while since I've gone live, and I'm not even sure who is out there right now. If anybody is out there right now, is anybody out there? I think that was a song, right? Anyhow, hi, and welcome to the channel here with Scotty here, where we're just going to sit around the pickle barrel, so to speak, and chitty chat about things that are up and coming in each of our days and our lives and in our dietary journey. I come on here and I think I'm known as Carnivore Scott to a lot of you, but Scotty works just fine. And the whole idea there is a safe space for people to meet and chat and talk about things that we're doing. So let me get my ears in. I constantly forget to put my ears in. I have to wear my hearing aids. But yeah, we just thought, hey, look, we need a place where we can all talk about whatever's going on in our world um, as it generally relates to our dietary concerns. And um, not everybody's diet is perfect for everybody else. So here, I want to make sure, right from the beginning, we understand that this is about each of our journeys and the way we're going about it, and maybe we can share. Hey, how are you? And so, yeah, ta-da! There I be. That's right. Hey, thank you for coming back there, Laura. I've been away for a bit, doing lots of different things, mainly not being carnivore. Hi, Alan. How you doing? Good to see you. I kind of pulled away from doing anything carnivore there. Right around that Thanksgiving, right around October, it started with the candy, and then it went from candy to food to I don't care, and fruitcake was part of my downfall. I like me some fruitcake. Hi, Alan. Good to see you. I do like that. I do like the fruitcake. So, um, fruitcake and eggnog, and suffice it to say, whatever gains were made were lost, and that's just the way the cookie crumbles, right? And not all was lost. It didn't all go to hell in the proverbial handbasket. It just, kind of got away from me. And what was interesting to me is that I was sharing this and have been sharing this with all my family for a while. And my son-in-law, we were up there for Christmas, had a beautiful Christmas with the grandchildren and the family. And my son came in with his wife and his children. So there were six grandchildren and there were four adult children. And then Ma and I, and we had a wonderful time with all the kids. Don't get me wrong, but talking to my son-in-law, and out of nowhere, he tells me, "Hey, I'm gonna try this carnivore thing." He's done his own research. He's a very intelligent young man and capable, and so he's very excited. He lost 15 pounds in the month of January. Hey, right? So I'm happy for him. So I thought, well, I better get back on that. And when you go off when you go off the carnivore way of life or ketovore, all the problems come back, just like that country western record, and so the bloating and the stiffness and the all that uncomfortable feeling is came back. And I think, and I've read it somewhere, I'm sure many of you have read this, but when you go on a low carb diet and you do it prolonged, um, and then you jump back into eating carbs, you're going to have a pretty significant amount of insulin resistance, and I had to deal with that too. So here we are. We're back. I'm in ketosis. I know what to do. It's been working out wonderful so far. It's only been a few days, so let's not get too crazy. Um, but I put out a little bit of a video. I put a little video up, and I had some beautiful comments. Some wonderful people said some really nice and sweet things, and I said, well, maybe we do need to have this corner of the universe available. Now, I'm gonna be honest with you. I had to go and restart this whole um, StreamYard thing. Hey, Susan, how are you? Good to see you. And I restarted the StreamYard, and I had to figure out how to make it work and all those things. And so, bear with me as I get my quote unquote sea legs back under me. But here we are, and here we go. See, there you go. There you go. There's a little smash the like button thing. Let people know that we're here. There you go. Hey, good to see everybody. Susan, how's it going for you? But if I remember correctly, you got that car. Everything going well? I hope so. That additional freedom to get out of the house on your schedule is really important. What I didn't know, and I still really don't know, is who I'm butting up against. I don't mean to be rude to anybody. That's not normally my MO, but I don't know who else might be out and about in YouTube land and doing YouTube live. I don't know who's out there. So let me see who's doing a live real quick. I probably should have done this first. A lot of this blah 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 blah. I don't see a lot of carnivores being live right now. Am I stepping on anybody's live? I hope not. Hey, Lisa. Thank you for that wonderful comment. You're one of the main reasons why I decided to come live. I wasn't really feeling it. Been pretty much in a not feeling it mode here lately, but here I am. Here we are. So how's everybody doing? How'd it go for you all in the month of January? That is bitter cold here in North Alabama there for a while. Still trying to get into some semblance of proper human diet. Hey, Michael, good to see you. Good to see you. Yeah, no, just seeing how everybody's doing and what's going on. What's the big deal in your world today? I see where Carnivore Kip has gone out on a limb and is going to have a meetup in March, and I'm tentatively planning on going. Yeah, it's like coming home. Hey, Hoosier, how's our Hoosier doing, man? So everybody's heard about Carnivore Kip and his meetup coming up in March or April. Yeah, April, right after Easter, the weekend after Easter. Yeah, he's gonna cook for everybody. So anybody wants to go on down to Atma, Alabama, I'm gonna try to get down. I got it on my phone. And me and the wife, we talked about it, so we'll have to see. All right, Ellen, let's put this up here real quick. We're gonna go ahead and see if we can show this. What happened here? Why? Oh, okay. I'm learning how to hit the button. Christmas, I did some cooking, but I really haven't had the urge to splurge. Oh, yeah, got it. That's the problem with that. That's a real challenge here. Let's see. This says, oh, good. Your vehicle is not the great. Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, yeah. Okay. All right. I hope so. We will. We're all about that. Doing great. Good to see you. I'm going to a local meetup here in Indianapolis on Saturday, nonetheless. All right. That's sweet. Good. Like I said, I broached the topic to the missus. We're going to see if that works or not. We had I don't know if everybody's seen the video, but 3 weeks ago, tomorrow, my wife and I ended up in an auto accident. Not my fault. Everybody walked away from it. Well, I didn't walk away. I took a ride away from it, but everything seemed to be getting better. I just can't close this hand all the way. I discombobulated my hand. I'm one of them old people, and I drive at 10 and 2. And so when we had the accident, both my ring fingers and index fingers and hands were pretty badly bruised. I got beat up by the airbags. My car got totaled. It's no bueno there. But again, um, it was an accident, not my fault. It was a young driver, and I hope a lesson was learned, and that we cars can be replaced. She might not get as nice a car as she had. She was driving a pretty nice Jeep Grand Cherokee type thing, but God had his hand on it. Everything's going to be all right. And we're going to all move forward from this point. But I tell you what, I did find out that this old boy, he can still move. After the accident, everything, the smoke, literally all the smoke cleared. I was able, with a little bit of guidance and help, to extricate myself from my car because the driver's door wouldn't open. Now, I could have sat there and waited for the jaws of life, but I wasn't going to do that. But so our car is totaled. We're down a car here there, Susan. So I get it. I understand about car problems. And then my truck the following week had a reoccurring problem, and it was nothing more than it needed a new thermostat. I knew that, but my hands couldn't close at that time. I couldn't use tools, so I had to take it in to get it done. And it's about a $35 part, and I paid about $100 for someone else to do the work that I could have done. But one of the bolts is back underneath an air intake, and all that reaching over and doing, and it was cold here. We got down in the single digits, low single digits, almost to zero maybe here in North Alabama. So yeah, the old boy wasn't doing any automotive work. Let's just put it that way. Just because I can doesn't mean I will. Yeah. Oh, it's okay. Thank you, Ellen. We're okay. Cars can be replaced, not people. And hopefully a lesson was learned. But I will tell you, them airbags, they're no joke either. I didn't even know we had some of the airbags that came out of the man. Airbags were going everywhere. So we came to a pretty sudden stop, but that's that. So it's all good. It could have been a lot worse. And I was wearing my seatbelt, and I was being aware, and I was able to get the cars. Like, not me. He was able to get the cars to where the front end of my car, the driver's side, impacted the front driver's side of her car. So all the energy went through her engine block and that front left wheel, and my front of the car, and through me and on back out, right? And then we had a little bump on the back because I think when we hit, and then the back of our car went up. And when our car came down, we came down on a truck that slid up underneath us. So it was a bumpy bump. But again, like I said, everybody walked away from it. And we're going to have to figure out what we're going to do about a car. We don't know if we want to run out and get another one, but that's okay. All that to say, back to trying to do carnivore again. Accident had nothing to do with that. It's just something I needed to do. My son-in-law having great success. He lost 15 pounds in the month of January, and he is so stoked about that. And I'm happy for him too. And so, and in other news, yeah. In other news, our pastor was preaching about something on he was starting the book of Daniel, and he was talking about what was interesting about those four, because they're the three young gentlemen, right? And then I always want to get them wrong. I am always so absolutely what's the word? I am so, well, I'm just not right. And I always want to make up so, but you have Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, right? And I want to go Shadrach, Horshack, and Abednego. And that's so wrong, But you had Daniel and those three young men who were taken from the royal families, and they were brought up into Nebuchadnezzar. I want to say it's Nebuchadnezzar's court, right? And they never forgot who they were, right? And so the pastor led on to say, well, hey, what are we doing to make sure we remember who we are, our children remember who they are, and our grandchildren? And we were thinking about it, and we are thinking about our grandchildren. And then I got a text on Sunday. My daughter sent a text to me asking me if I would be willing and open to baptizing our granddaughter. And I was like, yeah, duh. And so that'd be a great joy that we get to do here in a few weeks. And that was really uplifting to get after going boo-hoo in my first world issues of needing or the car issue, right? And isn't that just how it is? We get maybe sideswiped, or something happens in our lives and we get so focused on what that entails, and maybe we get absorbed and focused, and it's all understandable. I mean, totally understandable. And then something comes along and says, but here's your real perspective, right? Yeah. Thank you, Husha. I really appreciate that. And appreciate all the kind thoughts and words and all that. But it's another thing to sit there and say, we can get very focused at times on things that they're not unimportant, but relative to things. And has that happened to you all? I'm sure it has. None of you have been here. I know who you have things on a regular basis that probably impact. I know you do, Susan, with your granddaughter, and we all have things and people and situations that could swallow us up. They could dominate our lives. And then we get a reminder, and hopefully I hope they're gentle reminders, So as we sit around here, if someone wants to get into I have to remember how to do this. So stand by while I do this here. There we go. If someone wants to get into the stream and join us, I'll be more than happy. I'll always do that. But here, there's the link if someone wants to jump in. But yeah, no, the bottom line is keeping that focus. So when I started to create this live this evening, and I was trying to think, what's the title? What are we talking about? And I put the pickle barrel and more. Now I don't know. Hey there, Transformer. Good to see you, brother. You didn't miss me. It's all good. I picked the term pickle barrel because I remember hearing about people in days of old, before the internet and TV and telephones and all this stuff. People had to come together, and they needed to have a common place. And a lot of people do it at church, people would do it at work and some store. But the old boys and the old girls would get around the pickle barrel, and they would chew the fat, which I think is funny, seeing how that we're doing this, right? That we're chewing the fat as carnivores and ketovores, and at a pickle barrel and a pickle, hey, you're gonna get your electrolytes, right? Maybe they knew something. What do you think about that? Is it conceivable? It's inconceivable. Is it conceivable that they knew more about these things than we give them credit for? Preserving their meat to non-nitrate situations, right? So I just think it was interesting. I thought, well, that's kind of what we do. We're going to sit around and we'll talk about things that are near and dear to your heart, and we'll investigate and ruminate. Now, I don't know that I'll do this every night. That was getting to be tedious and demanding, because I had the other channel where I did a daily thing, and that put me hours and hours on the pewter and stuff. And my beautiful bride, she is so supportive of me, but there is a possibility of pushing it too far, right? All right, I see that. Okay, so let me throw this up. I'll put that comment up, and I want to bring in, ladies and gentlemen, there he is, the man, the myth, and who's your carnivore? How you doing, buddy?
Hey, I'm doing great, man. Glad
Uh,
to hear you seem to be no worse for wear after your car accident. So for your hand and everything, looks like you're doing well.
yeah, I am, I am. I'm tell you, I'm cautiously optimistic. Um, and we'll leave it at that.
It's tough when you get knocked around. I got rear-ended really hard about 5 years ago, and I didn't feel right for weeks afterwards. I mean, it just like I felt like a stunned fish for like a couple of days.
Yeah,
There's a lot of energy transfer when two cars hit each other, and I felt it.
yeah.
I know what you're going through there.
Right. I think the thing there is that soft tissue takes a while to manifest the injury because of all the chemicals that are released in that moment of holy, you know what?
Yep.
So hey, I see all the meat back to behind. I have an interesting question. Well, what I think is an interesting question for you.
Shoot.
I went. Oh, by the way, you're looking good. You look like you really got some weight loss going on there in the face, brother.
Yeah, I'm down about 65 pounds, something like that.
Amen, brother.
Yeah. Yeah, doing good.
So, so I was at the commissary where I shop, the military base, and we call it the commissary, right? And I went by a piece of meat, and it looked like it was Wagyu beef, right? I said, "Whoa, wait a minute. Let me. I can't afford Wagyu, but let me take a look at it, right?" And why are they carrying it here? But all that aside, I looked at it, and it was beef spare rib, a short rib,
Okay.
no bone. It's just a chunk of meat about, I don't know, 8 inches by about the 2-3 inch wide, 3/4 inch thick cutlets that had the fantastic marbling in them.
Hmm.
And they were beef short rib, beef spare rib, whatever, 4 something a pound.
Yeah.
So I bought me one to bring it home and see how good is it.
And
Well, what I did is I sliced it really thin. And I
so it
put
was boneless.
what?
It was boneless.
Yeah, boneless.
Okay.
Sliced it really thin, and I mean really thin. We're not talking paper thin, okay? I'm by hand. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And really hot olive oil, right? And it was done, like that. You know what I'm saying? And it was so tender and so good. I was like, holy moly, this was good.
Yeah. The fat's where it's at.
Well, yeah, but like I said, it looked like a Wagyu type thing.
Yeah.
Like one or two pieces of gristle part, but I'm like, anyway, it was a great cut of meat. I've never heard it before, never seen it before.
Hmm.
It was pretty cool.
I was at Costco and bought steaks last weekend, and I'm there, and there's other people looking at steaks, and there's this one pack of ribeyes that looks like, and it's just like the USDA choice, and then the prime is further down the aisle. Well, this was marked USDA choice, but it looked like almost looked like prime or wagyu uh, ribeyes in this thing. I mean, they were white. I mean, they had a lot of flecking in them, a lot of fat in them, and I instantly like went for that one and grabbed it. And this lady was like, "Now that would," and I kind of heard her say under her breath, that one doesn't look very good." And I'm like,
Thank you.
if you only knew.
You want to
only
tell me,
knew.
let me do my good deed for the day, and I'll take them out of the freezer or out of the cut, so you don't have to look at them.
You're right. I'll
I'll
take
take
these
it.
off your hands. And I cooked one up that night on the grill, and it was fantastic. It was super tender, and probably one of the best ribeyes I've had that I've made for myself.
That's awesome. So now,
Yeah.
when I left, doing all the lives, and you're right, Susan, it is hard to go on and be a friend to everybody all the time. It is very hard. But when I left doing the lives, you were getting ready to do some running or something like that, Brett?
Some running?
Was it jogging or running or exercise or
Yeah, I think I was back.
5K? I don't know.
Oh, well, I was, just doing a lot of walking and exercising and stuff. And
Okay.
then winter hit and, you know, it's gotten limited. I mean, we went through a spell here where it was 5 degrees below zero actual
Yeah.
temperature.
I know we got the cold here so hard, and when I was living in Omaha, Nebraska area, minus 10 degrees is minus 10 degrees. No, they've got the things. Everybody knows what you got to do, right? But in North Alabama, zero is not a number that is comprehensible.
Right.
And then we got snow, and it stayed on the ground. We got snow, freezing rain, snow, freezing rain. So for a week, and our houses, they're well built, everything fine. But I'm telling you, we had to take our house. We took our heat because we don't have electric heat pump. We had to take it down to like 62 in the house because the heat,
so your heat pump could keep up.
Yeah, to keep up, and it throws this other heat strip in, and then the costs go straight up the roof. So we had to leave all the water running so the pipes don't freeze. Have to keep the heater on. It's a mess.
Yeah, got to leave the cabinet doors open so the warm air of the house can get in behind where the wall is to keep the pipes warm. Yeah, that's a good trick. But
100 inches of snow, Northern. I'm glad you got that. Good for you. Happy for you.
I didn't know if you heard about my the challenge I did at the beginning of the year. I did a fasting challenge, and I did a 12-day fast.
Water only?
Water only fast.
Holy moly.
For the first 12 days of the year. Yeah.
Wow.
Yep, did that. And I think that's where my face got kind of slimmed down a little more.
Yeah.
I lost some weight out of my face for sure.
Did you know I have done a 4-day fast, right?
Yeah, 4 days is great.
I found that going into the fast was easy. Coming out of it was very difficult.
Oh yeah. What difficulties did you have?
Well, I wanted to eat too quick,
Oh.
And you have to go with the clear broths first. You have to wake your digestive system up,
Yep. Yeah, after 4 days, it's usually not too bad, but after 12, I definitely had to tread lightly, and actually, I was wanting to break the fast on a weekend, and it kind of worked out that way. I started with a 9-day fast, and I decided to extend it out to 12, and I wanted to end it on a weekend in case I had any kind of issues. I wanted to be home, on my home turf.
Yes.
I did some, bone broth and just eased into it over several hours. And actually, I think the evening before I started eating some butter just to kind of start warming things up. And that worked well. And I didn't, I had bone broth over a few hours, and then I had some scrambled eggs, and then I had like some just regular eggs the way I like them chopped up, and then just eased into it from there, and it was fine. But you definitely got to ease into it, and you can't overeat. And it's you're always tempted to, but you gotta refrain, or you'll regret it.
I think that's where I think that's where I had my challenges that I just I did too much too quick, and
Hmm.
yeah, I haven't done any fasting other than I don't eat at night, but I'm working my way back into a more, and I'm gonna go carnivore ish. Like uh, the the missus did a pot roast tonight,
Yeah.
a slow cooker pot roast, but and some little new potatoes and some carrots, right, and onions. And you know what? I had half of a little tiny potato. I had 3 slices of a carrot. Sue me. Um, I don't care.
Yeah.
My body
That
doesn't
didn't
care
hurt anything.
about that at all.
So during your recovery, have you been staying kind of carnivore or kind of
Oh yeah.
ketovore?
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Today we went to a local hamburger place, and I ordered a hamburger with no lettuce, and it ended up coming plain. And I said, "That's even better."
Yeah.
So, you know, eating meat, and I really, 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 really like the butter. So, you know, the missus said, "What are you eating?" I said, "Butter." She said, "You just sliced it off and ate it?" I said, "Oh yeah, all the time."
All the time.
Yeah, I think yeah, I might have a butter issue. Matter of fact, I think when I get well into into more of a carnivorous way, and I get my body into a good ketosis, I have to actually pull back off the butter because I think I eat too much of it. And then what happens? You remember Butter Bob?
Oh yeah.
Butter Bob had done this reasoning. He said, as your body gets fat adapted, right? You want to have less of external fat coming into your diet because your body is going to start burning what's in your body at a higher rate. And so I thought, Butter Bob, I'm not sure, but that made sense. So I started to notice that when I backed off of a stick and a half a day down to maybe a half a stick a day, um, my body did consume more of what was available.
Right. Otherwise, it's just going to burn what you give it.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
So, what else is new and great? What's coming up? You said you're going to go into a meetup on this weekend, huh?
Yeah. Yeah. There's a guy that has a keto channel, Dustin with Keto Simple.
Okay.
He's around our community. You see him jump in and out of chats and stuff. He's a really good guy, and they have a group. And I went to one of their meetups last fall, which was really great. And I heard about this one, and so I'm gonna go down there with my. I've gotten Who's Your Carnivore T-shirts now available on my website. Um, so my new shirt should be here tomorrow. So
Okay.
hopefully I'll have my own Who's Your Carnivore logo shirt to wear. So
Cool.
that'll be fun.
Have
And I
you?
got a new logo for my channel too. I don't know if you
I did
saw.
not see that. No, I did see it, but I didn't embiggen it to get all the
Yeah,
details. I'll have to go
yeah.
look at it.
It's basically like a cast iron skillet with the two handles, and it says "Who's Your Carnivore" spelled out in bacon.
Okay.
And then the state of Indiana is kind of like the shape of a steak,
Uh,
and and right at the top of Indiana is where Lake Michigan sits,
hmm?
like right on top of our state, and there's a big pat of butter right there where Lake Michigan would be. So my
my
daughter came up with it. My 16-year-old daughter made the logo for me.
That's cool. That's cool. My brother lives up there. He lives
Oh,
in
does he?
Elkhart.
Sure. Yeah. Right up at the top of the state by South Bend.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. Been
yep.
up there many times. Yep.
Yeah, he got out of the army and moved there, and ended up working in trailers for a while, and now he's an electrician. He works for an electrical company up there doing that and loving life. Other than I don't know why he's up there. It's awfully too cold, but
Elkhart is the RV capital of the country.
right.
They make more RVs and campers in Elkhart, Indiana than just almost anywhere else.
Yep. I've been up there a couple times to visit him. I was up there this summer. the wife and I did a big trip. We went from here in North Alabama, and we went up through Wisconsin to see my cousin, and then my brother drove over to visit up there in Wisconsin, and then we went on up over the top over the Upper Peninsula there, right?
Hmm.
And then we ended up in I'm missing it, but the Mackinac
Yeah,
Island.
Mackinac Island,
Yep, that's
northern
4th of July
Michigan.
and a little bit beyond there. Then we drove back to my brother's house in Elkhart,
Wow,
and then we came on home. So it was a good time. It was good.
that's a lot of driving.
Oh
You
yeah,
got to see a lot too. So
I have one. I remember one summer we did a 6,000 plus mile drive. We went from Omaha all the way up to Yakima, Washington, over to Seattle down to Portland, then Portland back down and all the way through the states, and it ended up back in Omaha. Then we went from Omaha to I think we came down here to Alabama, and then we went up to far eastern Kentucky, and then back all the way around again. So like a figure eight, and it was a great, a lot of good windshield time with me and the missus.
that's nice.
I love driving. I can drive 6 hours in a day without batting an eye. I can drive 8, and it's okay. I'd be happy to be stopped. And 14 if I have to, but after 14, I'm pretty loopy.
Pretty much everybody is.
Yeah, I drove to Texas last March, and that's a long drive. I drove all the way out to El Paso, Western Texas, and that's a long drive. I got to admit, it took me 2 days. I was not motivated to do that drive all in a day or something. So after the meetup, what do you got going on?
Well, I'm getting ready to put out a couple new videos that I've got in the can that I'm working on. Filmed one real quick this morning, and I'll tell that there's some of my subs are on here. So some people that subbed to my channel are on here too. But I'm doing a new challenge, kind of just a personal challenge for myself for February. I'm going to try to walk a 5K every day.
Every day?
Every day. 3.5 miles.
Oh, okay.
Not bad. 8,000. It's about 8,000, 8,500 steps.
Yeah.
It sounds like more than it actually is. It took me this morning about an hour and a half, but it was like 32 degrees this morning. So I just dressed for it and it wasn't too bad. So,
right,
but yeah, I got a little video coming out announcing that. Not a long video, just announcing my new little challenge. If people want to do it with me, that's fine. But it's just kind of a challenge for me to get out and get my body moving because it's been a while. And fishing season's going to be starting up here in a couple of months. And, I want to be in a little better shape. I'm pretty happy with my shape now, but, want to keep things moving.
Oh, I totally get it. I mean, like I said, wintertime, not caring, and then the accident and whatever. But today I decided, last week, I've been working on my pavilion, my forever effort.
Yeah,
right?
they're in your backyard. Yeah.
Yeah. And so, been burning a lot of wood in the fireplace, loving it. But, you got an open pavilion, the wind is going to be an issue, right? So the next thing that was to be accomplished was to put up a windbreak on all 3 sides. And so to do that, my beautiful wife and her wonderful mind, she said, and I've all these ideas, and she says, why don't you just put up a privacy fence on the pavilion, walls? And I said, that's a beautiful idea. So I did it. I got a 6-foot high privacy fence. So the whole north is blocked in, the whole East is done now. I just finished that yesterday.
Hmm.
And then she and I, we had done the south side. The west is still open, but I've got an idea for that. So the pickets go up to 6 feet, and then I have approximately 20 inches opening all the way across around, no, for ventilation, which is great. But we're sitting out there tonight for 3 hours burning wood, and it was just absolutely relaxing. So,
Yeah.
um,
So
but
they block the crosswind.
yeah, exactly. Got to do something about the west wind. What I'm thinking about doing is, how you go to if you go down to the ocean and you go to a restaurant on the ocean, they have those really thick clear vinyl curtains.
Yeah.
I think I'll just get a set of those to go across that west side. I can open them up to walk through, and it'd be transparent, right? And that will cut out all the west winds, and then I will be in like Flynn.
How about some kind of like wood lattice? And then you could let it grow up with morning glories and other kind of vining plants and stuff, and have kind of a natural wall there.
Well, but yeah, that's good. But my west wall is the wall that faces the back of my house, and that's the path down to my house is to the west wall.
Oh, okay.
So, and it's gabled, right? So the idea being is one idea I had thought about doing is if I could find a few sets of sliding glass doors, I
Oh,
could just install them there with a transom over the top, but we're not there yet. You know what I mean? But uh,
yeah.
the vinyl curtains would be nice just to break that wind, and well, it's just icing on the cake. But able to get out there. But the following project has been, and I started a while back, was to build a. I had to come up with a solution for my swimming pool because we have a saltwater pool, and
Oh.
when there's too much rain, it has to be drained, and that overflow of salt water is not good for your lawn or your garden
So why do you have a saltwater pool?
because the saltwater pool is a lot less expensive to operate. I don't have to worry about all the chlorine and everything, and it doesn't burn your eyes. You can open your eyes and no problem.
Oh, okay.
And so, we just keep the salt at the right parts per million, and a little this, and I don't have to do almost any upkeep on my pool.
Oh,
So
that's cool.
yeah, it's pretty
Salt's a natural, antibacterial, antimicrobial.
right. And what they do, the salt water runs over a charged plate that might have some, I don't know what the chemical process is, but they generate a volume of chlorine, but the way it works, it's not like chlorine that you're always ingesting and smelling, right?
Right.
So,
Like
uh,
it's ionizing the water or something.
yeah. So bottom line is, you can open your eyes under there, and you don't have you don't have chlorine eyes. It doesn't
Uh-huh.
burn.
So it's more like a saline
Yeah,
solution.
and
Yeah.
it doesn't cause any of the sinus problems or
Oh,
eye problems, and it doesn't have
that's
the
cool.
odor. So, and like I say, if you keep your salt right, you might have to do a little this, a little that, tune it, but not too much. And I dig it. Hey, good to see you, Todd.
Yeah, Todd Bognes is in here.
Yeah. So the idea is that uh, I have to do something with that water. So I decided to I came upon the idea of making like a retention pond.
Okay.
I already have a line to blow the excess water off out in the back 40. I was going to take that line all the way to what was called a creek, was actually a ditch. But then I thought it's not cool to dump that into the ditch or the stream because it would kill the animals and the plants.
Hmm.
So what I decided was a retention pond. So I figured something 2 feet deep that's 8 by 10, 9 by 10, hold about 1,100 gallons. And what I'll do is I don't have to pump that much out, but 4 inches on a swimming pool my size is about 1,000 gallons. So what I'll do is pump the water into that, and the water can evaporate, and then next time I have to pump it in, but it won't seep into the ground. It'll build up salt in 10, 15, 20 years. I may have to vacuum it out. I don't know, but it's all good that way. But so anyway,
Interesting.
I had a buddy come by with his he came by to help move and put my to take the fireplace off my truck and put it underneath when we did that. And so while he was there, I said, "Hey, could you use the bucket to help scoop out some dirt?" Well, he did that a couple months ago, but I went in today with a shovel to kind of start getting it more squared up. So when I buy the pond liner, I'll be able to, have the rough dimensions and have it all ready to go. Moving the dirt around, make the berms around it, put the pond liner, throw some sand, some rocks, because we have a lot of wildlife here, and get a lot of frogs, a lot of voles and mice. They love salt water, and I hate seeing them floating.
Yeah.
So give them a path to get out of there, but the water will be out of my pool. I won't be killing anything, and it falls right in line behind the pavilion. So it'd be a nice feature eventually. Hey,
That's
Darth
great.
Carnivore.
Todd said my background's making him hungry.
A lot of people have said that. Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right, Susan. That's right. You did live on the Gulf. You know all about the places that have those heavy curtains. Yeah, everybody's here. That's good.
Darth Carnivore that's in here. He's going to the meetup. He's local.
Okay, cool. Very cool.
I'm gonna get to meet him at the meetup on Saturday. So
Good,
cool.
good. Yeah, get your eye on a couple of ribeyes. I got you, brother. You can do salt. I can do salt marshes and grasses in the retention pond. I'm trying not to get too crazy about it, but you're right. I will come up with a couple of things that will help. Yeah, I got a swimming pool with electrolytes. That's right. If I swim in there, I can go from the hot tub into that and then back to there and back and forth, and then have a steak on the grill that's right around the corner, right?
I love his avatar, Darth Vader carving the turkey with his lightsaber.
That is great.
That's hilarious. I love that so much. That's great.
So now we're getting into I guess this is the meat of
yes. And he ordered a T-shirt from me, which I very much appreciate. Thank you very much.
Cool. That is all right. That's awesome.
I have a fan.
Now, do your T-shirts come in? Do your T-shirts come in the tall range?
I think so. I have to go on the website and look, see what the different sizes are. It's whatever that Shirtify or whatever the thing's called. I'm drawing a blank on it here.
Maybe I'll have to get together with you, because my deal. What's that?
Yeah, it's called Spread App, and they do like a lot of the channels use them for T-shirts and stuff. You upload your logo or whatever you want to make a T-shirt of, and then they keep that on file, and people order it, and then they make it and send it out. So
cool, very cool.
Yeah, I don't have to buy a stock of them and ship them to people. So
right, when we owned our ice cream shop, we actually bought a whole bunch of shirts, had a whole bunch of logos. I think we still have a few of them, and we haven't owned the ice cream shop since 2006. So it's been a minute, right? But we bought really good T-shirts, and that was always a hard thing. But I need a tall. I sit really tall. I got little tiny legs, like Napoleon had little arms. I got little legs, like afterthoughts. And so I always have to buy things that are tall, sometimes even big too. But anyway, we're working on that to make it not quite
as big as you don't need as big a size as you used to. I'm thinking.
No, I don't. I didn't gain it all back everywhere, but Yeah, it's the idea of I probably have an honest to goodness 60 pounds to lose, and that would put me at my military weight.
Hmm.
See, yeah, that would put me at my military weight, and that would be good. I mean, I know now, that I could have not fought my military weight max so hard if I had known what I know today. See,
Yeah.
when I was 20 and when I was 30 years old, I exercised like a fiend, I, 5 hours in cardio, lots of heavy lifting, Olympic lifting, lots of, when we were stationed in Germany, you know how you talk about doing a 5K walk? In
Hmm.
Germany, I don't know if you've heard of, they have the thing, they have Volksmarch, the People's Walk, right? And every weekend, all over Germany, you could go to a little city, a little burg, and you could sign up and you could pay your $1.80 and you can go on a 5 or 10K walk.
Ah,
It's a little book stamped. And at the end of it, you get a medal, a pin, a dish, a mug, and they'd have the beer tent and you could eat bratwurst and drink German beer. And it was a great time, right? And I got a buddy of
sounds
mine.
good.
He got overweight, got married. She put him on a routine. He had to do one of those on a Saturday and a Sunday. And in
Mm.
6 months, he was down 40 pounds with good eating, a massive reduction of beer, and walking 10 kilometers or more every weekend, right?
Yeah.
So if I had just known to put the sugar down, I probably
Right.
wouldn't be where I am today.
Me too. Me too. Yeah.
Cool, cool, cool. So now, with the t-shirts, if you don't mind me asking, is it worth the level of effort?
Yeah. It was super easy and it didn't cost anything. It was free to sign up for it. And so far it hasn't, it'll just make, you don't make a lot of money on it, but, you know,
No, of course not. But
5 bucks a shirt or something, I think is what you end up making in profit on it.
well, I just put my email in the comments. You could send me some details. It'd be
Mm.
kind of cool because I was thinking about doing something like maybe a tip jar and t-shirts or something like that. Just a little something. Um, I'm not using this venue as a way of making any revenue, so to speak. But it wouldn't be bad if it would um, pay for the $25 a month for the StreamYard.
Right.
That's about
Yeah.
it.
That's why I'm just trying to get my channel growing enough to where I can, you know, make a little bit and pay for StreamYard and, you know, Canva and my um, software I use to edit videos and stuff. That's all I'm looking for. I'm not hurting, but it'd be nice if the channel would at least pay for itself. Yeah.
And maybe a ribeye here or there, right?
Yeah, and if it does, if it doesn't, it's not breaking the bank either way. So, hey, we got Christy from Meeting Wellness in here.
Yeah, I see that. Hi, Christy.
Hey,
How you doing?
Christy.
Again, if y'all haven't noticed up there, up ahead, there's the link, and if need be, I can put it in here again. If anybody else wants to jump in, by all means, feel free to jump in because again,
Yeah,
uh,
there you go.
for those who didn't catch it earlier, you can see I said the pickle barrel and more, right? Well, the whole idea is we're all sitting around the pickle barrel chewing the fat, and Hosier came in with plenty of fat for us, so we just grab a hunk of fat in his dry aging racks. Have you ever aged meat like that before?
No, never have.
Has it ever
No,
been an idea to do it?
I don't know. My refrigerator's pretty well full. I don't know how well that would go over with the non-carnivores in the house having a big hunk of meat in the refrigerator for like a month.
I wouldn't go for a
Start
month, but
getting brown.
yeah. Did you didn't you do a thing of bacon though?
Oh yeah, I make my own bacon all the time. Matter of fact, I just bought a new pork belly and gonna start a new batch soon. So
So maybe next time when you do that, I have to watch because I've been wanting. Now, do you use nitrates or do you use
I
salt?
do. I do use nitrates. And even if you don't use nitrates, if you use like celery salt or something natural, that has nitrates in it too.
Oh yeah, no,
So, but yeah, I use the pink salt, the pink curing salt.
right. I watched a few videos at YouTube University where people you can do it with just salt. Not you don't need
Yeah,
a whole bunch,
you can.
but um, I don't really care about nitrates right now. I'm trying to cut down on bonbons. Um, I
Well, actually, if you watch Dr. Berry's video on nitrates, he'll tell you eat all the nitrates you want. It doesn't matter; they're fine for you. He's
all right. Let me catch up a
yeah.
couple of comments here. Okay, real quick. Okay, you got plants are trying to kill you. Yeah, it'd be a great conversation out. This sure would be. Christy says to say my favorite background bread.
Yes, it is.
Must be one of
Too
yours.
bad there's no picanha though. There's no
Yeah.
picanha. It's all ribeye and New York strips on here.
Yeah, that's so sad. Protected lady, I guess someone from your side of the world there loved the dry aged steak 2 days in
Oh,
the
two
fridge.
days. Oh,
That's cool. That's very cool. I got an extra fridge out in my garage. I got a detached garage, which is my shop, quote unquote.
mm,
I could do that out there. And
yeah.
see, yep, everybody's saying, "Hey ho, what do you know?" Yep, dry age makes me think decay. Right, right. Now,
Well, what it is.
I know some people who are really, and we do have someone in our community. Oh gosh, I'm trying to. As the meat ages, it generates more of this byproduct. I'm sorry, I can't. I want to say statins, and it's totally wrong. Uh,
Mm,
but it generates more. It happens to ground meat too, and uh, for some people it doesn't work. But at dry age, that's cool. I don't know. I think if you can do it healthy and you can do it, in a way that doesn't cause any consternation, gastrically speaking, then I guess I'd be all for it. I mean, some days I get dry aged steaks in my refrigerator for 2 days because I buy them and I forget to cook them for 2 days, but that's
yeah.
intentional.
All right. I'm forwarding you the email on my order so you'll know the place.
Oh, cool.
It's called Spreadshirt.
Okay. All right. Nice. Thank you so much. Histamine. Thank you so much, Christy. Histamines. That's the word I was looking for. Thank you. My little brain pan. That little squirrel was running around in there furiously looking for a word. And I said, the heck with it. I don't want to burn out a motor doing that. Yes, histamines. And there's a nurse, our nurse friend, out on the West Coast. I'm drawing a blank right now. Um, she's really sensitive to histamines, and even grinding meat up will create a histamine uh, increase. And for those who are susceptible, that's no bueno. Thank you so much, Christy. I sure was. Just so everybody knows. Were you thinking of a histamine? Yes, I was. Susan says, I'm over here on Brett's chat now too. Oh, you have two devices. Congratulations. I'll just open up two windows in my uh, or two instances, but I always end up having to mute one because I go crazy on the delays.
Yeah.
Doris, are you serious? A 40-ounce tomahawk, a date night tomorrow. Oh my. Oh my. Yeah, steakhouse. There you go. Hello, Cheryl Edwards. Yes, Lynn. Thank you, Cheryl. It's Lynn, our nurse. There you go.
I made a video making a tomahawk a couple months back. It's on my channel, and I caught it on sale for like $9.99 a pound.
Right?
And I think the tomahawk I made was almost 3 pounds. It was big. Although a pound of it was bone, but
Right. Okay,
it was
Miss
awesome.
Protected Lady. Dehydrated bacon.
Bacon jerky.
I wish I could hear more about this. I don't. You want to grab the link and jump in? Can you? Would you? Might? Maybe? Huh? I have no idea. Can you throw I'm going. I'm going to have to Google that now. We'll have to go out to the YouTube University, and I'm going to thank you very much. It's not enough that I'm not making my own bacon, but now they're bacon jerky. You're killing me, Smalls. You're killing me.
Well, I smoke my bacon, so it's already technically cooked. So if I sliced mine just right, I could definitely make bacon out of my homemade or bacon jerky out of my homemade bacon.
Oh yeah, you could.
I could
Do it, man. Do it.
Yeah, I need to get a dehydrator so I can start making my own jerky.
Well, now wait a minute, and maybe someone else can chime in here. Wait a minute, kids, Chris. I just got to interview Adam at Conrad, and he just discovered he has a histamine.
Yeah,
there you go. Wow. Well, that explains a lot of things for people, doesn't it? So you salt it and put it in the dehydrator on 165. So based on that comment, Brett, you could do your own in an oven.
Yeah.
I've dehydrated meat in my oven. I make liver jerky. I like liver jerky. You just put it in that low heat, let it go, and flip it over, roll it over. But you can make your own dehydrated then in the oven.
Yeah, I guess I could do it in the oven. Although I've never been one to do anything small. So it's like when I want to make jerky, I want to make like 10 pounds of it. I don't want to just make enough for like a day and a half. I think I could make some in the oven and it might last. I could probably make enough in there to last 3 or 4 days, maybe.
All right. Okay.
I need to get a couple more racks and get it filled up in there.
I think that defeats it for you have to lengthen the time. You have to do a lot of rotation that way. But Dark question. He says, have we ever tried purse bacon?
Mm-hmm.
Not by that name. Brett, what is it?
It's just bacon that you take with you that your wife keeps in her purse. So when you get hungry, she can just pull bacon out of the purse.
So
bacon from Costco, the pre-cooked bacon from Costco is great for purse bacon because it's already cooked, and you can just I just take some and put it in a Ziploc bag and take it with me for lunch.
Okay, so yeah, I have to say yes, I have. When we go to movies, sometimes the missus will do that, or when we go, like I told you, I like to drive, right? And so, like if I go up to visit my daughter near Cincinnati, 6.5 hour drive, we'll pack up some food like that, and then yeah, definitely do that. Definitely.
Purse bacon. Yeah.
All right. Purse bacon. No, hey, I don't call it anything more than bacon. I mean, you don't really need to get crazy about it. Because you put it with a label. I'm eating bacon. Anybody want some? You're going to have to wrestle me for it. Yeah. What do we have here from Laura? So, what do you need to make bacon? You don't need a smoker to make bacon.
No, you can make it just in the refrigerator.
Yeah, bacon. Yeah, go to YouTube University. It's pretty simple.
Yeah, it takes longer because it has to cure and dry longer. So it can take about 2 to 3 weeks. I think I watched a video on a guy who made it. And it has to stay in the brine a little longer. And then you put it on the rack in the refrigerator, and it sits in there for like 2 weeks and dries and cures. Yeah. But if you smoke it, you can make bacon in a week.
Right. The pink cure thing makes sure it's all good, and you get it all good for the first 7 days. You got to do the rotation and the flip thing because you want to make sure the solution equally penetrates the meat all the way around and the fat. But once that's done, then you have to do that drying part, and it definitely it stiffens up from what I saw. So they sell my pork belly at the commissary. I just haven't had the courage, and I need to go order the pink salt or the pink curing number 2. Is it pink number 2?
Yeah, pink cure number 2.
Yeah, I gotta order that, and then I gotta get a good scale because my scale only goes up to like a few. I can get enough for the pink cure, but if I wanted to weigh my meat to be really exact, I don't have a really good a really good scale for
Ah,
doing 3, 4, 5 pounds,
right. Well, I buy the pork belly at Costco and I try to get one that's at least 10 pounds because I'll make two 5 pound slabs with that. And per 5 pound slab, there's X amount of cure you use with
Right.
5 pound that I figured out. So that's why I try to buy like a 10, 10 and a half, you know, pound piece. And then I know when I cut that in half, I've got all the right mixture
Ratios.
that's already figured out.
So let me ask you, do
It's
you?
in my video. I've got a video on it.
Yeah, I've watched it. Do you find that it's economically beneficial, or is it just pride and sureness of quality?
Well, the 10 pound pork belly I just bought costs $40. It was $3.99 a pound. And you can find bacon on sale for $3.99 a pound. But, you know, I know what's in my bacon and the way I smoke it, it tastes it's head and shoulders in taste above anything you can buy in the store. I mean, it's in its own separate class of,
I have heard
of
that.
taste quality. I mean, it's just you just can't compare it.
Well, I tell you what I have found though. Similar topic, change topic. Um, they sell bacon fat in a container that you can buy at the store now.
Bacon up.
Yep. Oh, I like that stuff. That
Yeah.
that meat I told you about today that I cooked up, that short rib meat or whatever. I did it with a little bit of olive oil and about a half a tablespoon of bacon up.
Oh, okay.
That gave it some great taste. Yeah. Hey, you're right about that, Christy. When you got purse bacon, you got to watch the dogs, the cats, neighbors. I've got a neighbor here who eats like nobody does. He's like 6 foot tall, maybe 6 foot
Hmm.
1, 6 foot. He might weigh 180 pounds, right? And he can go to a buffet, go 5 trips to the buffet for fried chicken and all the other stuff, and then go 4 trips to the dessert bar.
Hmm.
And he does this day in and day out and doesn't put on a pound. I just want to,
Yeah, he
yeah.
does it now, but
Well, he's my age. He's 60, 64, 65.
wow, he's got an amazing metabolism.
I just want to poke him in the eye.
Yeah, he's been blessed.
Yeah.
Hopefully it continues and he doesn't run into any issues.
Well, you never know.
He
So
should probably get a fasting insulin blood work check just because you never know. He could be a skinny type 2 diabetic and not know it.
yeah, I think he's actually quite good, um,
Yeah, I mean,
but his personality. So where he's, how it is. You get blessed in one area, you might get detraction in the other. He's one minutia away from a full blown Asperger's,
oh,
and so we
interesting.
just we just we just smile, and get along. You know what I mean? Uh,
Sure.
Clean ingredients and bacon up. I doubt if they're clean ingredients and bacon up. I don't think you can have clean ingredients in something that lasts that long. And no oxidation and all that.
Bacon up
However, it
ingredients.
is what it is. What do we have? Okay, Christy, pork, not much pork belly there either. Yeah, yep. Well, you know where you might get some, Christy? I don't know how to say this discreet, okay? So please, anybody, I hope I don't offend. But you should probably go to your local Hispanic market, where they make the nice fresh menudo out of tripe and everything. I'll bet you if you get someone to tell you what the right words were for pork belly in Spanish, you might find a market a place that, and also an Asian market would have pork belly too. Everybody eats it. They all just have different names for it and different ways of preparing it. So that might be a source. Just saying.
Does everybody want to know the ingredients in bacon up?
No.
Yep. Rendered bacon fat, bacon cured with water that may have contained salt, sea salt, potassium chloride, sugar, brown sugar, smoke flavor, sodium diacetate, sodium phosphate, sodium absorbate, sodium erythrobate, dextrose, and sodium nitrate. So, not terrible, but if you just save your bacon grease at home and have your own bacon grease jar next to the stove.
We do that too, but we
Yeah.
don't eat enough bacon often enough. And that's the issue for me is maybe if I made my own and we could cook more of it and and I get it at a better price maybe at the commissary or something like that. But yeah, that rendered pork, that'd be great. But Darth, you're exactly right. Skin on that is really good. Makes good crispers, right? All right, Ellen says I left out a comment. Good thing I didn't have food. Which comment? I'm making one every 30 seconds. I don't know which one was funny. You student could tell you the word for sure. Real stuff is the best. You're right. You're right about that. Aren't we learning that more and more in society as a whole when we look at how disillusioned? We are the most connected society in all time.
Yeah.
And we are the most depressed and lonely society in all time. There's so much entertainment and there's so much input going on. You can pick any one of 1,000 television channels, thousands of YouTube channels, and people are feeling incredibly disconnected.
Yeah, isn't that amazing? But none of us here in the carnivore community feel that way.
No, we don't.
Not really. I mean, I mentioned this on Christie's channel before. I'm like, if not for carnivore, none of us would even know each other at all. And our lives are that much better for it. I mean, carnivore ribeyes give us something, but the community gives us something too.
That's absolutely true, and I think
it's wonderful.
Yeah, it is, and I think it goes to the idea that I might not find enough people in my community to agree with me and to want to engage in the way I want to, but in the whole world, I'll find 100 people, right?
Oh.
So that's what I think the bright sides of all this connectivity. But the negative side of it is, just as we said, real stuff is best. Brett, you and I can do this because we're getting a lot of we're getting a lot of feedback for eyes and ears. We've got facial recognition and everything. So that's something more than just the digits. And for everybody who's watching the stream, they're getting some because they see the two of us interacting and they can make that work. But there's still a place where I believe that we need to be able to do things like the meetup you're going to go to this weekend, and how when you get to be face to face with some of the people you've talked to on your channel and you've had it back, you can't replace that. That idea, that need for human touch and to really see a person at best, not
to shake hands with people, to shake hands with people.
Yeah, shake hands. Get to know them in a level, because you can only do so much here. And some people are totally cool with going to a meetup and engaging, but they would never come on a camera on the internet, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I know I'm
Yeah.
shy and it's hard. It was very difficult for me to come out of my shell and to share with everybody, right?
Yeah. For sure. I probably wouldn't have done this a year ago.
Well,
You know.
how much of that? How much of that is? How much of the if I use the word fear, it seems a little strong, but how much of that is predicated on, well, you've done a lot to change the way your appearance is, for one. For
Yeah.
two, for two, the technology is not as daunting. I mean, we both had worked through the issue of getting StreamYard up and running and doing and linking. I know, but it's really not that uh, difficult a task. And I think when people tell us, and my son-in-law, who's really done well with going carnivore, I asked him about I tried to give him some leading questions about what are some of the things that have really uh, um, changed in his day-to-day world. And
Yeah.
he said, my energy level, and I read that also not just energy, but maybe mental outlook, mental clarity. You know how we all talk about that. And maybe if you're not in a really good headspace and you don't really feel great about yourself and you have a daunting technology and you're not excited about something, maybe you're not going to go live, but get excited about it. Have some changes, have some victories,
Yeah.
watch other people do it, and you see an old man like me out here, you're like, I can do that. I can do that. Remember when we first got Lindsay on down under? She,
Yeah. Limitless Lindy.
yeah, yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. She's really taken off. I guess she's going to be in Austin, Texas, um, for KetoCon.
Oh, good, good. And
Yeah,
she
she's
should be.
flying in from Australia.
Barriga del cerdo. Barriga de cerdo.
Saturday.
Pork belly in Spanish.
Belly of the pork.
Belly of the
Mhm.
pork. Okay. What don't you believe, Susan? Oh,
That he was ever shy.
oh yeah, shy. Yeah, yeah. Actually, I can be quite shy, but it all depends. Great people person, but thank you very much. I just want my head to swell up. It won't fit in frame anymore. There you go. Huge carnivore got his spread shop. There you go. I hope you get a couple shirts out of this, buddy. True story. True story.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm not quite big enough to where I can start doing the like super chats yet, but I'm getting close.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm like 720 subs and 1,500 watch hours. So I'm
Well,
about
that's awesome.
halfway there on watch hours.
I haven't
So
even looked at mine. I haven't even looked at mine because I wasn't doing it, and I don't think I'll ever be allowed to make money on this. But I could maybe do the super chats, whatever. But you know what I'd rather do than people ever do super chat, because my
yeah,
understanding, and I could have this incorrectly. Please forgive me if I'm incorrect. But when people do super chats, half of it or so stays with the YouTubes.
yeah, it does. It does.
So if you have a tip jar, you can keep it,
Yeah, or
or a
like
small
buy me a coffee, that kind of
buy me
thing.
coffee. Yeah,
Yeah, I think you get a larger portion on the buy me a coffee, but
right.
I don't know. I might look into that.
You
I
know,
don't know. I'm not the kind of guy who's gonna ask people for money or ask for stuff. I'm doing okay.
well, I think the
40% of super chats. Okay, that's what Christy just said.
okay, yeah, I just knew it was different. So I'm up to 382 total subscribers. I'm setting the world on fire.
Hey, you know,
But I'll just do these lives. I love doing these lives. So let's go on here. Just a little more catch up on some of these. Oh no, we already had that. You're shy. I know. I know. I've asked you numerous times, but you know what? It's okay. It's okay to be who you are.
Yeah,
I think that we as a community have to ensure that we don't ever put someone in a situation that they're not comfortable in, because there's just no value add to that. There's no reason for it. Um, for some people, they need to and they want to grow their channels, and they want that income stream, and they have a zest and a desire for it. And I'm all about it. And I try to watch a video. From my understanding is, if you want to help a YouTube person out, is watch watch the whole video. Watch all of the commercials. Don't tap out of them.
yeah,
Obviously, press the like, try to share, and put a comment. And you've done everything you can do. But Susan, you were saying before, you can't keep up with everybody all the time, right?
right.
And no one in YouTube land should ever. I don't think any creator should hold a person hostage, right? Does that make sense? I mean,
Hmm.
if you have the time, you have the time. If you don't have the time, you don't have the time. I think the challenge is not everybody's message will resonate um, with with a lot of people. I mean, you look at Bill up in Alaska, right? He got a compelling story. He got a great um, 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 camera. What do they call that? His on-screen persona is
Sure.
really authentic, right?
Yeah,
Great, and he needs it.
he's a real deal.
He's a real deal, and he needs it. So I think but me, I'm retired. I've already I've already got it. I'm good.
Yeah,
Just I need this
yeah.
part. This is the part I
It's amazing how fast his message got across, and how many people subscribed to him and donated. And I mean, it was a real blessing, and I was really glad to see it go towards somebody who really really needed it. And now I guess he just ordered it. He ordered a new bed, and he's going to be, you know, in a more comfortable laying position. And he got some new equipment. And I mean, he's using the money wisely and getting the things that he really needs.
and I really feel his content is is giving back to the community. You know,
Sure.
I mean, I don't I don't know that the 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 community at large in carnivore, let alone society at large, understands how prevalent Bill's condition is.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. Even if we don't see him on YouTube, there's thousands of people out there that have probably seen Bill and are sympathizing with his situation, because they're going through the same thing. So like Carrie said, he's probably helping just hundreds, if not thousands, of people that he'll never know, that are all being helped
and
by his message.
one thing I don't have a relationship with Carrie, but if someone here does, it would be interesting. It would be really interesting. I think that um, Bill's brother Jared
Hmm.
deserves some kind of recognition from the carnivore community. You know,
It's a good
Jared's
idea.
the one that gets the flowers every day.
Yeah.
Jared's the one who took him to get the MRI.
Hmm.
Jared's the guy up on the roof. Remember Mutual of Omaha, Wild Kingdom?
Oh, sure.
And remember Marlon Perkins?
I do.
And
I'm
remember
dating myself, but I was young, but I remember. Yeah. I
so
remember watching that when I was a kid.
so Marlon Perkins would go, and now Jim's going to go into the waters of the Amazon to wrestle with the giant anaconda, right? I
Right.
feel that Jared is like Jim, you know what I mean? That
Yeah.
the great bigger than life person that Bill is out there, and they say, and now Jared will be up on the roof in 40-knot winds, minus 30 degrees, chipping off the 800,000 pounds of ice that have accumulated on my shed. Jared now got up at 12 o'clock at night to take me 62-hour drive.
Right.
And on the way back, he cut some lovely flowers and brought them so everybody on YouTube can see it. Jared is the one who went down in the basement when the basement was flooded.
Right.
And lifted the water heater up out of the water.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe, I don't know who could do it that could maybe take up a collection and buy Jared a nice like gift card or something,
Yeah, I think a gift card would be great so he could do it in his own way, or send him some great work boots or something. Jared is the man. I'm sorry. I'm trying to get more and more. I want respect for Jared, because also Jared has a depth of love for his brother.
Yeah, he does.
And that's absolutely amazing. So I don't know if anybody else is. Yes, you're absolutely right there, Susan. Caregivers, that have been big on my heart. My sister moved in with my dad and is helping to take care of my dad, and it's a mutually beneficial situation. And then we found out, because my dad is a disabled veteran, the VA has a program for him that excuse me, that he can get a caregiver, and that caregiver will come into the house a few days a week or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
and help him, because as he ages, he's 89. Toenails are harder to clean, things of that nature, right? They can get someone to come in from the community, or a family member can be appointed as your caregiver, and they pay about $30,000+ a year to do that. And that person can get health care also through the VA. So pretty cool program. If anybody's a veteran or has a veteran in your family, particularly a senior veteran, I'd be glad to share information with you to facilitate understanding that. But yeah, caregivers are so important, and Jared is an awesome caregiver. Yeah, you're right, Christy. Great content, and I really see that maybe this can be a venue for doing some of that. I don't really dig making videos. I don't. I'm like, what do I have to talk about? What do I have to say? But when I'm here with you, Brett, we can feed off each other.
Right. Yeah, sometimes it's hard coming up with ideas to have for videos. I got a video in the can that I'm working on. Did you see the video that Bill made with the bacon wrapped steak fingers?
I did see part. I saw part of it. I didn't see all of it, to be honest.
Well, and then JT from Poco Moonshine Family, he did it too, just to remake Bill's recipe. Well, I took it a step further and made a video, and I made heart attack bacon wrapped steak fingers.
I tell you what, my wife was following.
They were pretty good too.
I bet you. Oh, I bet you they're all good. The wife, she started up with a keto light. Some friends of hers have got a Facebook group, and they're doing like a keto thing. And she gets recipes, and she got this one where she makes chicken nuggets. But what she does is she got chicken in a can, the Swanson chicken in a can. But she mixes one egg along with a cup of cheese with that chicken, right? Forms them up into little croquettes, if you would, and puts them on some wax paper or whatever. She puts it on the baking paper and puts it in the oven and cooks them up and get that cheese and everything set up. I'm going to tell you what, That's straight in my carnivore. That's pure carnivore right there. And 3 or 4 of those will fill me up. I mean, like a
Yeah.
good meal, you know. You talk purse food. Talk about purse food because it's about the size of a thick peppermint patty. You know, maybe maybe like a good size like that, and 15 grams of protein, 15 grams of fat. I'm all about it. That's perfect for me. What do
Yeah,
we
I've made chicken fingers with pork panko and egg, and fried those in like beef tallow, and they've been pretty good.
I gotta be honest with you. I am so not into complex time preparing food. Like I said, putting beef on a fire, putting strips of beef in a pan, scrambling eggs, frying a hamburger. I love making soups, but and a hamburger soup is a great thing to make, right?
Hmm.
But I don't really go for rolling, breading, poking. It's,
Yeah, I wouldn't
I,
want to
as
do
long as
that every
it's
day.
not good,
Yeah,
I'm not gonna put in the level of effort.
yeah, I wouldn't want to do that every day, but every now and then, just to change things up, sure, sure.
All right. Hang on just a second. Hey, Laura, um, you've got my email. You can email my. I can send you links and stuff. There are there are um, thresholds that need to be addressed, but that's not entirely true. And I can give you the receipts for that. The VA has wonderful programs, but it depends on the level of disability. So, like if your father, or your mother were, I want to say 70% disabled by the VA terms, they're absolutely available to that, and I can walk you through that. Not a problem at all. All right, let's go. That sounds great. Heart attack, steak fingers. Okay, people want to hear you talk about them. Talk about
Mhm.
the steak fingers,
Yeah,
the heart attacks.
I made one mistake with it. I used a thick cut bacon, and I should have
Mhm.
just used a regular bacon instead of the thick cut because it threw the cooking time off. The steak got done on the inside before the bacon got all the way done, and yeah, and it didn't stay wrapped well. It stayed wrapped on a couple pieces, and then a couple other pieces it came unwrapped, and so yeah, I don't know. I was thinking about doing it over again, but I'll probably just make it with the little fail in there, and then I'll make a new video or something.
That's one way to stretch out a thought, right? Um,
Right, right.
did have
You
you ever?
mess it up and then you fix it.
I had this thing with it. I think they called them pork shots.
Pork shots.
So what you do, you take something like a kielbasa and you cut it 3/4 of the whatever your bacon width is, since you make your own bacon, right? So if your bacon is 1.5 inches wide, this is use that for a nominal number, right?
Sure.
1.5 inch wide strips. You would probably make it like about 1 1/8 inch, 1.25 inch high slice of kielbasa, sausage, whatever you want. And then you roll that up in bacon, stuff it, pin it on there with a toothpick, right? Then take Philadelphia cream cheese and a cheddar cheese, mix them up, and then pipe in the cheese into the cavity because remember the bacon's a little higher than the kielbasa slice. So you'll have a kielbasa slice and then a layer of cheese and all of it's wrapped up in bacon. You put it in and you bake it up in the oven at 375 or 370, 350 for what amount of times. But don't use the thick bacon, you know.
Right.
And I would even submit probably half cooking the bacon till it's all that loosey goosey stuff. And then you
Give it
can
a
roll
head
it up.
start.
Yeah, and what they did is they took the pack of bacon, so it was like your normal Oscar Mayer pack, and they cut it in half because that way you had enough overlap for the bacon. Does that make sense?
Uh-huh. It
So,
sounds like you're making a pork ding dong,
okay.
where it's like stuffed with cream. It's you got pork, and
Oh,
then
yeah,
it's stuffed with cream cheese on the inside. It was
right.
like a pork Twinkie or something.
Yeah, but remember, it's the you have one shot. Yeah, at the bottom you have the hard piece, the whole piece of sausage, and then on the top you have that creamy filling. And
Mhm.
if you only make it big enough to fill that, you can eat it in one bite.
Oh,
Good
okay.
night, Darth.
Gotcha. All right. That's a see, there you go. That's a great video idea.
Yeah, you go ahead and do that. Darth, I appreciate you dropping in like that, brother. And thank you for sharing your time and your comments with us tonight.
Yeah, we'll see you on Saturday, buddy.
Well, Laura, I see what you're saying there, and thank you for his service. I'm glad that he's in in a much better place right now, but at 100% disabled, uh, Purple Heart otherwise, he would have been eligible for that, and I would have loved to have taken that bull by the horns. I don't talk about it a lot, but one of my favorite things to do when I held elected office was I like to be able to pick up the phone and I would call if whatever the office of responsibility that was potentially not doing what they're supposed to do. And I love making that phone call. Yeah, hello, this is Senator. Yep, yeah, hello. Yeah, hey, look, got to talk to somebody about this. This doesn't pass the smell test. And normally those things would get resolved. And I'd have resolved that thing. You better believe you.
Mm.
That was about probably the best thing holding office I was able to do. That's about it. So, but yeah, by the way, if any of you all ever have questions about VA stuff for you or for a loved one or for someone I'd be more than happy. One of the things most people don't realize, and it's important for people in our age group to know this, and is that let's say, now I don't mean to be misogynistic, but it's the nature of the beast. Okay, all right. Um, if your father or your great uncle served in the military, let's say they did 3 years, they were Vietnam, they were Korean, whatever, right? There's one period it won't work real good. Right after Vietnam and before Desert Storm, tough period. But if they served in the military and then they passed on, right? Because that's what happens. Their wife, if they were still married, and there's some caveats, there's some special rules you can work through, are eligible to be in a veterans home. And a lot of people don't know that. So I had a case where a guy I worked with, he was taking care of his mom, and he's a little older than I was, and this is like 13 years ago, but he was taking care of his mom who had really bad dementia. I mean, no, Alzheimer's, that's so bad that you can't be left alone in the house because you can get hurt, right? So between
Yeah.
him and his aunt, her sister, who lived right next door, they had 24/7 coverage. Well, after about 7 or 8 years of that, it's very difficult and it's very taxing. And I said to him, just going to ask this question. By any chance, was your father in the military? He was like, yeah, my dad served. Blah, blah. Well, your mom could go to a veterans home if you wanted to. And he goes, no, she can't. I said, I write the laws. I'm pretty good at this. So I got him connected with some people, and he ran with the ball, and he was like, sure enough. And a month later, now it wasn't in his local town. But his brother, who never came to take care of things, who raised such a ruckus that he would ever think of that, lived right next to the home she was going to. So, but she got great care, and they had great care for Alzheimer's patients and stuff. And what a blessing for him. So I always want to let people know if if you've got an older a person in your family who was married to a vet, that could always be an avenue to explore.
Well, I really appreciate you talking about that because my dad was in Vietnam in the mid 60s and he passed away in 2004. And my mother's still living and doing well, but maybe someday, if she needs a place to go, that would be an option for her.
Well,
So, and I had no idea that she would qualify for a benefit like that and they were married when he passed, and you know, it's something we can look into if we ever need it.
absolutely, because it's
Yeah,
what you'll need is what your father had is a DD form 214. That's his discharge. I'm just telling you, and you can always go back on this. But DD form 214 is the passport, if you would. Matter of fact,
mm,
it's the passport to everything veteran military. It
yeah,
will say this person by this social security number served this time, did all these things, and then along with a marriage certificate, a death certificate to make sure that it's all you know simpatico, right? And
yeah,
you would probably you need to go to a state veterans home. I don't know exactly where you live, but I'm sure in and around Indiana there's probably about 5 or 6 of them,
sure.
and you'd find one closest to you and say, "Hey, we just want to investigate," and they'll have a form. What will happen is her doctor will have to fill out the thing about she needs to have care. There may be some means testing, but it's not expensive or
Mm,
anything like that, and it's really a highly underutilized service um, for because let's be honest, if like I tell my wife, if I have really bad dementia from TBIs and whatever, if I don't know who I am or who you are each and every day, and someone's having to feed me or whatever, I don't want you to. This is not her take. She's completely not in line with it, but I don't want
right,
her life to be sucked down by that. You know,
right.
and so
Mm,
gotta if you know, and if you don't know, we can help you. So let me just
yeah,
let you know. Yeah, they do. Well, the problem with vets and family members about getting rejected too often, unfortunately, for me, what I realize in my experience is there's a lot of unknowns. And I wouldn't consider myself a barracks lawyer because I did hold office. I do have some understanding, but there are people who are professionally trained to facilitate this, and a lot of people just don't understand the gates to go through. Like I said, Brett holds his hands up when I said DD Form 214, right? But there's a lingua, there's a jargon that is unique to it, not impossible to figure out, but it is configurable. Matter of fact, I'd ask you, Brett, did you know if your father had any disabilities?
I don't believe he did.
But you don't know for sure.
I
Okay,
don't know for sure.
right. Well, sometimes that stuff
He
is
had Purple Heart, but
well. Then yeah, so he does. So he probably has a transferable benefit to your mom. There could be something she's not getting right now because they have this thing called the DIC, the Death Indemnity Clause, which basically states if you pass because of something either primarily or secondarily related to your disability, then
mhm.
there's compensation for your spouse.
Hmm. Yeah, he passed from cancer. You know,
He
so
was in Vietnam. He presumed to have cancer, so he would have an Agent Orange, and she would get compensated. Did you know? And you can still go for that now.
yeah, I don't know. I never saw Agent Orange anywhere on the that was ever talked about, but it
Break,
was.
break. All right. If your father served in Vietnam, he
Mm,
is presumed
oh,
to have been exposed to Agent Orange, and there are a number of cancers that are directly linked to it. And
Hmm.
if his death certificate said he died of, I'm gonna pick one, a gastrointestinal or skin or
Liver
okay.
cancer.
So if it was a liver cancer, that could come a bloodborne type of cancer. It could be. I won't go 100%, but I would say 80+% that he would have a service-connected disability due to his service in there, and his death was caused it, and your mom is due a certain payment of anywhere from $900 to $1,400 a month.
Interesting.
Just saying, I'm pretty good at this stuff.
Huh. I'll talk to her about it.
Whether she wants to or not, and a lot of people in the generation don't, but I do believe that is something, because I know in my household there's a new thing called the PACT Act, PACT Act, that said anybody who served over in Desert Storm 1 or 2 over there, anywhere in Saudi Arabia, all that area, Djibouti, if they even served there or flew over it, they're automatically covered for asthma, cancers of the breathing tract, a lot of those things, just having served there. And all you have to say is, yeah, here's my orders. I was there. I now have asthma, and it's presumed and connected. Important stuff.
Have you ever talked to Larry, the Carnivore Soldier channel?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. He's doing a lot of work with veterans, and that's kind of the angle on his channel.
Yep, I talked to him some, and he and I are in lockstep, but different people need to evangelize, because we have different. Like, you knew about him being a veteran, but this topic didn't come up, right?
Yeah,
it could be.
Come up.
So you got my email. You can always reach out to me.
And, you got mine now too.
Yeah, and any of you all on here, I'm pointing to the chat list, and it's weird. I'm sorry. Any one of you can always reach out to me, and I would definitely, exactly. And any one of you would be able, I would definitely entertain sharing my knowledge. But you know what? I tell you what, though, it's been going on for 1 hour and 47 minutes. It's 10:25. I think this is a good time to give you the floor for a minute there, Brett. I know I talked a lot about veteran stuff. I apologize. But any final thoughts for today, or something going into your meetup? You want to plug your meetup in Indy here this weekend?
Well, if there's anybody around, you can get on the Low Carb Events webpage, which is where you would go to register for keto or Keto Palooza, and there's a list of low carb events and local groups that they can. I think you can post in there for free about any meetups or whatever, and you'll see the one for Indy that's in there. There's one I think in Texas in there, and a couple other ones that I saw. But ours is at the Smoky Bones restaurant in Avon, Indiana, which is on the far west side of Indianapolis. So Saturday at 1:00, I'll be there. Darth Carnivore will be there. Keto Simple and whoever else comes out. So yeah, and just make sure everybody's subscribed to Scott's channel, my channel, and anybody else who's in here. That has a channel, everybody's got a message to put out there. And if you're thinking about starting a channel, start one. It's super easy and it's free. And even if, you just want to talk to the camera and get stuff off your chest, sometimes I think having a channel can be a little bit therapeutic.
Yeah, very therapeutic.
So that's kind of what I like about it. That's what I get out of it.
Well, thanks. I appreciate you, and Brett, I really appreciate you taking the bait and coming in here. again, it's open to anybody and everybody. And we've had some lively conversation here before, but
Yeah.
the important part is, um, to piggyback off of what you were saying there, Brett, and I think it's incredibly important, is well, you don't know who is going to respond to your story, or just your methodology of coming across. A lot of people out there watching, people lurk, people come by afterwards and look at these things, and if they can see someone they can relate to, right?
Hmm.
If you can, then maybe you're going to help someone, and you don't know who is that person. And we all put on a persona when we're in the comment section, right? We have a little avatar, and we put a persona. For those of us who've come out into the video, it's a little harder to play games, but when you come out and people see you, and you're vulnerable, and people can see that and they can relate to you, you don't know whose life you might be touching and making a significant difference in. And it could be a recipe like, bacon wrapped steak fingers. It could be chicken nuggets. It could be a discussion about so many different topics that happen sporadically in a carnivore type channel situation. But I think the most important thing is that everybody has an opportunity to chime in the manner in which they choose to chime in. And I
Hmm.
thank you for your time. I know that of all the things you have to give, time is the one thing that's just really, really special. And I know that, it was said tonight, it's hard to go out and see all the things that are out there. So you spending any part of your time here is a blessing to me. And I know that uh, everybody else thinks that. Now, Sky, what's my channel? I'm sorry. My channel, it's Carnivore Scott. Yeah. It's simple. I'm not very creative. So it's just Carnivore Scott. And I think that should get you to where you're going. You're going to see a mug kind of like mine, and I think it'll work out. I mean, I'd go to the YouTube and try to find it real quick, but I'm not really gifted for this stuff. You're killing me, Smalls. I can throw it up here real quick. I know how to do this. I can do this.
As far as spending time, to me, I'm just hanging out with my friends. This is this is great. I enjoy that. I enjoy doing this. And actually, as soon as my green screen's ready, my daughter's making a green screen for me. I'm going to start sending out calendar invites and setting up times for uh, the uh, Hoosier Carnivore Meat Locker lives. And I'm going to send people the background, and we're all going to get in the meat locker together and have a lively carnivore discussion. And
So
it's just going to be like this. It's going to be friendly, casual. You know, if you may have some certain topics to discuss, and then maybe springboard off of that into something else. But yeah, we're going to do the meat locker lives. So should be fun and interesting, and and it's just something different, where everybody can, they'll get one of these meaty backgrounds, and we'll we'll all be hanging out in the meat locker together. That's going to be my shtick for for this. So we'll all be hanging out in the meat locker together.
all right, that sounds great. Again, I really appreciate it, Brett. I really appreciate everybody and people going and adding things to the channel there with lots of dialogue in the chat, and that really helps to uh, not make this an arduous thing. I hope that it hasn't been too painful for anybody. So with that, um, I wish you all well. I trust that you have a blessed evening, and that whatever you're doing, you're finding yourself in a better spot day by day and moment by moment. And know that you matter. Each one of you matter. You matter to each one of us and to so many people. So take care. God bless and good night.
All right. Good night, everybody.